Rubiel Mosquera, the human giant who shocked the bodybuilding world. What happens when a bodybuilder stops looking merely muscular and starts looking almost unreal? That is where Rubiel Neckzilla Mosquera enters the story. From the moment Rubiel Mosquera appeared on the bodybuilding scene, people noticed something different. His size, structure, and especially his enormous neck and upper body created an instant visual shock. He didn't simply walk into a room, he looked like he had been built to dominate it. And then came the nickname, Neckzilla. It wasn't ordinary hype. His neck became one of the most recognizable features of his physique, giving him a brutal, powerful silhouette that immediately grabbed attention. While many bodybuilders chase perfectly proportioned aesthetics, Rubiel became famous for something else, an overwhelming physical presence that demanded attention. But here is where the story gets even more fascinating. Rubiel Mosquera's rise wasn't built overnight. Behind that massive appearance was years of training, discipline, dieting, posing, and relentless pursuit of improvement. Bodybuilding is not simply about becoming big. It is about repeatedly pushing the body toward a level that most people cannot even imagine maintaining. And Rubiel pushed that idea to the extreme. His shoulders looked enormous. His arms carried serious thickness. His chest created a powerful upper body frame, and his traps and neck gave him an almost intimidating appearance. When he stepped under the lights, the reaction was immediate. People didn't ask, "Is he muscular?" They asked, "How was he this big?" That is the kind of reaction every bodybuilding fan remembers. But perhaps the most surprising part of Rubiel's the feeling strong, the most important contingent. In professional bodybuilding, being massive is only one piece of the puzzle. Judges evaluate conditioning, symmetry, proportions, muscularity, presentation, and overall balance. A physique can be gigantic, but if the details aren't there, size alone cannot make the body stab, fix the root times, and all flies to the best. He represents the relentless pursuit of mass. The idea of seeing how far human muscular development can be pushed while still competing against athletes who bring completely different strengths. And when Rubiel trains, the visual impact becomes even more dramatic. Imagine enormous shoulders filling a training shirt. Imagine thick arms swelling under the pressure of a hard set. Imagine traps rising toward an already gigantic mech. Then imagine all of that under brutal gym lighting. That is the Rubiel Mosquera effect. Shocking, massive, unforgettable. But behind the spectacle is something deeper. Every extraordinary physique carries a price and effort. Reaching an elite level requires consistency when motivation disappears. It requires eating when you aren't hungry, training when you're exhausted, recovering when your body is beaten down, and repeating the process for years. The audience sees the muscle. The athlete lives the sacrifice. That is why Rubiel's story is bigger than one viral photograph or one enormous body part. He became a symbol of the extreme side of modern bodybuilding, the side where athletes constantly ask, "How much further can I go?" And that question could transform an ordinary competitor into someone the bodybuilding world cannot ignore. Rubiel's appearance also demonstrates how dramatically different professional physiques can be. Some competitors win attention through classic lines and symmetry. Others rely on insane conditioning. Some possess incredible legs. Others have legendary backs. Rubiel brought something unmistakably his own, sheer visual impact. His physique could make people stop scrolling. It could make gym goers stare. It could make bodybuilding fans debate. And most importantly, it made people remember his name. That is the power of individuality. In an industry filled with massive athletes, standing out is incredibly difficult. Yet Rubiel Mosquera managed to create a visual identity that was almost impossible to confuse with anyone else. Neckzilla wasn't just a nickname, it became a brand. And that is perhaps the most surprising chapter of all. The bodybuilding world is constantly changing. New athletes arrive, new physiques emerge, standards evolve, but certain competitors leave an impression because they look radically different from the crowd. Rubiel Mosquera is one of those competitors. Whether you admire his extreme muscularity, his dedication, his unique structure, or simply the sheer shock factor of his physique, one thing is difficult to deny. He gets people talking. And in bodybuilding, attention matters. Because before someone becomes a champion, a legend, or a household name among fans, they have to make people look. Rubiel Mosquera made people look. He made people wonder. He made people react. And every time that massive silhouette appeared, one question seemed to follow. What on earth are we looking at? That is the phenomenon of Rubiel Mosquera. Not ordinary, not for one better way of containing barefoot. Neckzilla arrived, and bodybuilding was never quite the same.